So good evening, President Burke, Vice President Jones, Trustees, and Interim Superintendent Dr. Murray. First, I want to say how much I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak to you tonight. I'm here this evening because I feel it's my duty to alert the entire Board of Trustees about my serious concerns regarding the Jackson Public Schools and the 27,000 children that you serve. I have discussed my concerns with the board's president and vice president and interim superintendent during a meeting on November the 11th and in a conference call on December the 13th. I also shared my concerns with the State Board of Ed members at our December 13th at our December meeting on the December 15th. But I'm here this evening to ensure that every person responsible for leading the Jackson Public School system understands the severity of the issues that are facing the district. I'm pleased that so many community members are here today because this is a critical time for JPS, and community support and involvement is absolutely essential, I think, to the district's future success. As you know, JPS had its accreditation status downgraded to probation in August after a Mississippi Department of Education audit cited numerous concerns related to school safety and instructional practices, among others. The concerns cited in the June 15, 2016 preliminary audit report required immediate attention. However, since that time, school and district leaders have not demonstrated the sense of urgency that is needed to address these major problems that are preventing the students of JPS from getting the education that they deserve. I will provide some examples of what the MDE representatives have reported from the ongoing, and it is still ongoing, full investigative audit that is underway. Following on-site visits conducted in this fall, MDE staff have reported inappropriate physical contact with children, such as pulling children by the arms, as well as inappropriate verbal interactions, including but not limited to teachers raising their voices, shaming and humiliating children, using a harsh or sarcastic voice while communicating with children, and teachers being quite irritable with children. We reported these concerns to district officials during our meeting on November the 11th. During a recent visit to one of your high schools, MDE staff reported the following: students arriving to school as late as 9:30 a.m., students walking through metal detectors, setting off the alarm and having no further inspection, school staff continuously trying to contact the principal with no success, classes with no teachers, students wandering the halls and classrooms, students sleeping in classrooms or using cell phones during class periods to watch movies, use social media, play games, or listen to music, security guards in the building standing around talking and laughing. These types of occurrences were also documented in the June 26, 2016 audit report. MDE staff noted that it was apparent that MDE's presence on campus had absolutely no impact on the normal climate or culture of the school. MDE staff have been in regular contact with JPS officials to provide assistance and support regarding the corrective action plan. This plan outlines the actions and timelines associated with correcting all of the deficiencies, including those related to instructional practices and sustaining safe schools. The district's initial corrective action plan did not meet the standards of the State Board of Education, and as a result, MDE staff met with the interim superintendent and district level administrators to provide feedback regarding the revisions that were needed to bring the corrective action plan up to standard. The State Board of Education approved the revised corrective action plan on December the 15th. And even though the State Board approved the district's corrective action plan, I have serious concerns that the district is not taking the immediate actions needed to resolve its issues related to school safety and instructional practices. So I felt compelled to come and inform the entire JPS Board of Trustees about the alarming conditions MDE representatives observed at these schools and to convey my serious concerns about the district's ability to effectively implement the corrective action plan. Crafting a plan is one thing. Executing the plan is an entirely different matter. Every leader in JPS must act with urgency to take the necessary steps to ensure quality instruction is provided in a safe learning environment for all students each and every day. Buses must arrive on time. There must be a teacher in every classroom teaching students. Schools must be safe places for children to learn. And these are just the bare essentials of what is needed to run a functional school. There are 58 schools in JPS. 4 received A ratings, 5 are B schools, 7 are C schools. That means that 16 of your schools are meeting or exceeding expectations. One of these schools, Davis Magnet School, has the highest proficiency rate amongst all of the elementary schools in the state. Another school, Baker Elementary, has the highest reading growth. This shows what is possible for all of JPS. JPS also has 21 D schools and 21 F schools. That means 42 schools are not succeeding in educating the children for which they are responsible. The children in these schools matter. They are just as important as the children in the schools that are succeeding. There is nothing different about the children in these two groups of schools. All of the schools in JPS can be successful. It can be done. Everyone who has a stake in the success of JPS needs to be actively involved and vigilant about ensuring the district's corrective action plan is implemented with absolute fidelity. This is an opportunity for the district and the community to work together on behalf of every student in the Jackson Public School District. All students must be held to the same high expectations. The MDE has been actively involved in ensuring that district leaders understand what is expected to correct all of the deficiencies within the district. We could not have been clearer. However, we cannot do the work for the district. We are not in the classrooms every day. We do not oversee day-to-day operations. The people in this district are the agents of change. This includes every teacher, administrator, staff member, and parent in the Jackson Public School District. Every person who works for JPS is responsible for the successful implementation of the corrective action plan. Parents must be partners in this effort. This is absolutely critical. The MDE intends to closely monitor the district's implementation of the corrective action plan and provide continued support and assistance. However, we cannot stress enough the continued concerns we have regarding the district's response to improving instruction and safety. If the MDE does not see immediate improvements regarding instruction and safety, we will have to revisit every decision we have made up until this point. The law requires MDE to issue additional sanctions if there are not immediate actions taken to resolve these concerns. But let me emphasize, it is not the desire or the intent of the Mississippi Department of Education to make a recommendation to take over the Jackson Public Schools. Rather, it is our hope that JPS will use this process as an opportunity to address the areas of concern. If the district is subject to having its accreditation status withdrawn by the Commission on School Accreditation if deficiencies are not removed during the time specified in the corrective action plan. With state board approval, the Commission is also authorized to request that the governor declare a state of emergency if it finds corrective actions are not taken or deficiencies are not removed by the end of the probationary period, or if the district violates accreditation standards that warrant immediate withdrawal of accreditation. This means that the district must comply with its corrective action plan and prevent serious violations that would warrant a declaration of an extreme state of an emergency. The Commission on School Accreditation may determine that an extreme emergency exists if any one of the following conditions are found in any district in Mississippi. 1, the safety, security, and educational interests of the children enrolled in that district are jeopardized. 2, a district meets the State Board of Education's definition of a failing school district for 2 consecutive school years. Or 3, if more than 50% of the schools within the district are designated as schools at risk in any 1 year, and schools at risk are defined as failing schools in any 1 year. If the governor declares a state of emergency in JPS, The law requires that the school board be dissolved and every staff member in the district becomes an at-will employee. The district would immediately lose its accreditation and students would be eligible to transfer out of the district. And that is not a scenario that anyone wants to see. Also, after 1 year after accreditation is withdrawn, all extracurricular activities, including athletics, would be reduced by half. In closing, I want to emphasize that MDE staff will continue to provide support and technical assistance to the district to resolve these deficiencies, without a doubt. However, if the district is not making appropriate and timely progress, or it is determined that the safety, security, and educational interests of the students is jeopardized, there will be a need to discuss further options. The stakes could not be higher for JPS. I urge you to act with urgency and use this as an opportunity to make the changes that are needed immediately for the sake of the students of Jackson Public Schools. And I thank you for the time to come and address all of you. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. I am 100% sure that we heard you loud and clear, as I know that all of our entire district did. And we are confident that we will move the needle and we will progress to the space and the place where we rightfully should be. So we are confident with that, and we shall work every day toward it. Dr. Murray?
Thank you, Dr. Wright, and I second what Ms. Bird has said. We are committed to the work. This is our district, and we're going to do what it takes to make sure that we meet the standards, and most importantly, do what's best for children. So you have the commitment of the leadership and the board as we move forward.
Thank you.
Colleagues, y'all have any questions?